Hey, everybody. Hey, Cedric. Well, we're on to cut the cord. Now, I wanted to greet everybody and say hi.
Hello.
Yeah. And we're on to Cut the Cord, our Lunch and Learn series. So every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time, a new Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn is released. So you may ask, right, what is Cut the Cord? Well, it's a 30-minute training that airs on our Facebook, our YouTube, and LinkedIn pages. It's going to elevate your mindset. It's going to help you set goals, and it's going to make you get outside of your comfort zone. So we all need that, right? It's going to help you start saying, I'm already enough. I'm already good enough. I earned it. I am smart enough to do it. And I am because I am. It's going to give you the it factor. What is the it factor? Visualize it, pray about it, plan it, work it, live it, and don't give up on it. Our goal for today is already speaking to me as well. Weed out the pretenders so you can have a stronger dream, a stronger life, and a stronger team. But before pointing any fingers, we all know that when we point one finger, three fingers are pointing back at us, right? Ask yourself, as a leader, have I always been a player or have I been a pretender? So here's a story for you. When Kobe was asked by the Alabama football player, is he more motivated by the will to win or just by hating to lose? He responded by neither. He replied, I'm motivated by being the best player that I possibly can be. So I ask you, friends, on this Wednesday afternoon, as you're eating your lunch, think about, are you motivated to be the best leader you can be? Are you interested in being the best player? There's this idea of the law of magnetism, and it's such a powerful law because I have seen it, and Cedric, I'm sure you have in your life too. It's this idea that who you are is who you attract into your life. If you're a pretender, right? If you pretend, guess what you attract? Pretenders. Who you are is way stronger than the message that you preach. This goes for leadership in all areas of business. This goes for leadership in all areas of friendships, of relationships, of parenting, right? Who you are is stronger than the message that you might preach. People are watching you. Players don't follow pretenders. They never do. It's interesting. You can feel it out a little bit. They do catch on quickly. If you're a pretender, you won't be able to keep good players on your team.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, hello and welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here with you today. You see, I'm in my car. That means I'm on the road. That means I'm in schools. In fact, I'm parked in front of a school because I'm going to be going in there as soon as we're done with this show to do a closeout with some elementary students. So I'm excited about that, but I'm excited to be here with you today. And you see, we're going to be talking with you about distinguishing between players and pretenders, right? There was a conversation that Sports Illustrated was having, editor was having with Don Yeager, and it went sort of like this. He says, one of the biggest disruptors in the locker room isn't race, it's authenticity, right? Mm-hmm. See, there's a severe price for catching the ball, right? You have to be willing to take the hit that comes with playing a sport, right? You can wear the team name, But what you do on the field in the right moment is what really matters. You see? So what you say has to be backed up by who you are and what you do. Now, let me say that again because somebody just missed what I just said. What you say has to be backed up by who you are and what you do. Right. And I know my friend Jeff Willie, who's watching today, he's definitely a player. Right.
Yes.
So I'm going to help share with you the difference between players and pretenders. And here it is. See, players have a servant mindset. Pretenders have a selfish mindset. So my question is, which one are you? That's the question. You got to answer that question for yourself. Now, I don't need you to type it in the chat. I just need you to think about it. I need you to reflect on it. See, pretenders don't get the best out of others because they don't give the best to others. Uh-oh.
Say that one again.
That right there. Absolutely, I got to say that again. Pretenders don't get the best out of others because they don't give the best to others. Now, see, you have to decide if you're a player or if you're a pretender. I know I'm a player, right? So, all right, let me put it in this context. Player means something totally different in different cultures. All right. I just want let's get this right in the context that we're talking about. Jeff, I know you're listening, so I know you know what I'm talking about. Players mean something totally different in different cultures. Player versus player. Okay. All right. So I can go both ways. Let me stop. So, there was a group of Cajuns. I'm from Louisiana, so I like to tell Cajun stories. There's a group of Cajuns who were sitting around bragging about how successful they were. And Thibodeau says, I just bought me another shrimp boat. Yeah, but I got me a crew of 10 people working for me. Now, his friend Lander said, that ain't nothing. I've been promoted at the refinery, and now I got 50 men working for me. Now, Boudreaux hears all of this, and he says he doesn't work. He doesn't want to look bad in front of his friends. And so he says, oh, yeah? Well, I got 300 people working under me. Now, Thibodeau says, what are you talking about, boy? He says, you mow lawns all day. Now, Boudreaux says, that's true. But now I'm cutting the grass at the cemetery, and I got 300 people working under me. You see, that's a little Cajun talk for you there. All right. There's nothing wrong with competition. The problem for many leaders is that they end up competing against their peers in their own organization in a way that hurts the team and themselves. Right? Yeah, Jeff, I knew you'd like that story. So seriously though, players are mission conscious. They understand the mission and the vision and values, and they will sacrifice their individual perks for the sake of the mission, the team's mission, right? Pretenders are position conscious. See, they want to know what they're going to get out of what's happening. That's the difference. Are you a player or a pretender?
So good. So good. Players also deliver the goods, right? They deliver something. So they follow through with what they say that they're going to do. It's all, if you think basketball, it's all about the follow through, right? It's all about knowing that at the end, you are going to accomplish the thing that you said you're going to accomplish. Production gives you credibility as a leader. Production gives you credibility as a leader. Pretenders promise the goods. It's a lot of talk, right? They can talk it up all day long.
Yeah.
They might not deliver. They talk a good game, But they may, and
Exactly.
the sneaky part is they may have produced something one time, right? But they're living off of that dream or that thing that they produced that one time. Players work hard to get their better opportunities, and they work to better their opportunities as well. So pretenders are always looking for a better opportunity. They jump ship very quickly. They have this
Hmm.
destination disease. That idea that like the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Oh, if I could only get here, if I could only do this here, then I would be. But that's not always true.
Absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly, Heather S. on that. But I love what you said. Players deliver the goods. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we deliver, right? Pretenders talk about delivering the goods, but they can't deliver the goods. And now you know what I'm talking about, ladies. I mean, the people out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? All right. So let me stop. Um, you know, Atlanta Falcons former president and CEO Rich McKay back in the day said, "You draft players on production. You don't draft players on potential." Oh man, there you go, right there, right? See, players love to see others succeed. Pretenders are only interested in their own success. They are unhappy over the success of other people, in other words, right? So what you have to do is you got to ask yourself, how do I feel when other people on my team are in my field are succeeding? Let me put it this way: on social media, when you see your friend having some success and they announce it, or what's your feelings? Are
Oh,
you excited for them, or are you upset about that? Right, Heather? It happens, right?
yep, absolutely.
So you got to decide, what's your reaction? You'll know if you're a player or a pretender. Am I jealous, or do I rationalize why I'm not succeeding as well as they are? Reflect on that if you have a minute, right? See, players value integrity. They know what's below the surface has to be greater than what's seen in plain sight. Pretenders value image. See, they're all about show and appearance. It's smoke and mirrors is what I call it, right? And they have a hard time admitting when they fail. Uh-oh. That right there is the key.
Yep.
They have a hard time admitting when they fail. Jeff says, I'm a player in the game of life, serving others. There you go, Jeff. I believe you.
Yeah.
And that guy there, that brother right there, is definitely a player and never a pretender. Players make hard choices. They're not afraid to make a courageous decision. So if you're a person who you're sitting on the fence, you're afraid to make the hard decision, you're afraid to make a courageous decision, you may not be a player. You just may
Mm.
be a pretender. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, truth stings sometimes, right?
Yes.
Courageous decisions, right? So Peter Drucker said, whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. It takes courage. You got to step out there. Pretenders make the easy choices. They give up quickly. But players finish well. They understand that it's a huge giant game, right? That we have to play. So they say things like this: I will be bigger on the inside than I am on the outside. I will follow the golden rule. I will value humility. I will take the high road. There's the low road that pretenders take, but the high road is what the player takes. I will teach only what I believe, and I will develop daily my potential. Daily developing my potential. Pretenders are the ones that they start and they start and then they fade out. They overestimate the day and the process. that it takes to finish well something, right? They're unwilling to make adjustments along the way. They say things like, I'll fake it till I make it.
Yeah. And I really hate that saying, fake it till you make it, right? Because that just means you're going to always be fake. I say you make it and you take the opportunity so that you can make it,
Yeah.
right? So here's some questions that you need to think about, right? Can a pretender become a player? Now, sure they can. They must be willing, though, to experience and overcome adversity, and they must be able to deal with the challenges instead of ignoring them. Right?
Mhm.
They can. They sure they can become. They can move from being a pretender to a player. They have to let the people in your life, in their life, who love them, call you out and keep you from taking shortcuts. They're going to show you your blind spots, and they can help you develop your self-awareness. In fact, if I have an assessment for that, if you need one, just give me a call. Right? See, can you go from a player to from a pretender to a player? Absolutely. You have to be willing, though, to ask, what's it like to be on the other side of me? Ooh,
Ooh, that's a
that one
good
right
one.
there.
Yeah.
Yes,
What's it like to be on the other side of me? Wow. Is surrounding yourself with players the best thing you can do? Keep in mind that if you're a pretender and you just grab players and pull them around you, they won't stay with you very long. They may call your attention to things that you need to change and be willing to hold you accountable. But you have to be willing to make those changes inside yourself, right? You have to be willing to step up within you and see, what could I be on the other side of me?
absolutely. Now, if you're a pretender, what do you do to change it? And what do you do if you have pretenders on your team?
Mm.
Now, this is an important question. What do you do if you are a pretender? And what do you do if you have pretenders on your team? How do you fix that? See, if you're a pretender, you have to fess up. Just have to admit it and say, hey, I'm a pretender. You got to be honest with your team. You got to take it public and you got to be accountable. Now, that's a hard thing to do. Everybody wants to hold everybody else accountable, but they don't want to hold themselves accountable. You
Yes.
see, I, I can remember a time where I just had to admit and tell my team, hey, look, I'm changing. I want to be a better leader, and here are the things that I'm going to do to become a better leader. And then you got to go out and set it out there. It's not about being afraid to let your team know that you have some shortcomings, because guess what? They already know. In fact, they talking about it. You're the only ones who's not admitting. You're the only one not admitting that you have a shortcomings, right? But I'm going to get off my bandwagon on that one, and I'm going to let Heather go ahead.
Yeah, right? I mean, people already know. Well, what if we're coaching someone else who is dealing with a pretender on their team and they don't recognize it and we do? What if that happens, right? Here's the thing. Share your thoughts with the leader you're coaching and give them the plan to talk with that pretender. They may not see it still. So give them a list of characteristics that you're seeking and ask them to look for them. The leader can either confront the pretender or they can report back. It's so important that we're able to have those hard conversations when we see this pretender side coming through in our team. All right, Sandra?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, here's a question for you. And it's serious. So I want to take my time with it. I want to make sure that you get it, right? When you have low confidence in your own ability to produce, how can you produce more? Think on that question a little bit. But let me help you along the way. Okay. Now, this is Coach Cedric talking. This is the mentor, Cedric, talking to you. It's the guy that can help you. Let me tell you, when you have low confidence, all you got to do is get some wins under your belt, small wins, and it's going to build that confidence that you have. And those small wins are going to also build your credibility. Okay. And those things, those little small ones, are going to be the wind beneath your wings. And that's going to help you elevate, and that's going to help you rise, and that's going to help you get better. That's going to help your team get better. So all you have to have is some small wins under your belt to gain confidence and credibility.
Yes. And it's almost like naturally you become a player, right? You become the person who owns that rather than a pretender of those small wins. So what about your team, right? So what should I be aware of to create really good work ethic? Here's the thing. We know that if you put people around people that can elevate, it's so important. So put the pretender around the players and address the gap in the difference in work ethic. Show them a model and set an expectation with them that they will grow. If you refuse to grow and stop pretending, you need to remove them from your environment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You need to. See, pretenders in a church environment versus a secular, man, I can't say that word, secular
There
environment.
you go.
Okay. Let me help you with this, right? See, people are people no matter the environment that they're in. Your best approach as a leader is to tell the truth. You got to be loving, you got to be kind, and be honest with every confrontation, no matter the environment. Now, I know that you've gone to church and seen some of those pretenders in there, right? I know you have, right? And then you've gone right outside the church and see some players out there, right? You just have to learn how to be honest and be kind and be loving with every person that you come in contact with all along the way, and help people. You know, there's a right on the top, you can see right on here in my car, I have a thing that some cards that I carry, and it says, no excuses, no drama, no complaints. No excuses, no drama, no complaints. See, excuses distract, drama drains, and complaints are boring. Nobody has time for that. So you have to be loving, you have to be kind, you have to be honest with every person you come in contact with, no matter the environment. Now, you know, several years ago, I read this story, and it was called "The Thousand Marbles." Now, let me tell you about the story and how it goes. So be patient with me here. Several years ago, this story came into my existence, and I thought it was actually pretty good. It made a strong impression on me. And it was about this older gentleman who had placed 100 marbles in a jar, every one of them representing the Saturdays he had left to live his life doing a normal life expectancy. It was a reminder to him that his time was limited and that he should make the most of it. See, the story reminds me of someone that is counting down, and I like taking the opposite view. I'm counting up. See, I recently retired from Abbott Laboratories after spending 30 years in healthcare and 22 years with Abbott. Now, I was tired, and I wasn't ready to just sit at home and count down. Right? So just because you're retired don't mean you're gonna count down the clock and say, all right, I only have so many days left on this earth. No, it's bigger than that. It was more than that, right? Some of you retired people, you understand what I'm saying, right? See, I still have a lot to give. I still want to add value to others. I want to help make a difference as long as I have the energy to do so. So my goal with LaFleur Leadership Institute was to re-engage, reinvest, and reinvent and replenish. Re-engage just means now I was ready to give more time and energy to someone else, right? Reinvest emotionally, physically, and financially into my business. Reinvent was yesterday's success won't bring success tomorrow. So I had to take it to another level. And replenish is get better at eating, exercising. Well, we're still working on the exercising part. All right. Recreation and rest. So I could do better for my company, for people, for these students that I'm about to go work with here. So the point is, it's better to manage your energy than your time. Always be a player and never a pretender. Always be a player and never a pretender. So manage your energy and
Hmm.
count up versus managing your time and you start counting down. What you
Yeah.
think about that, Heather?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic because there are so many different instances in our lives where we know that we want to play this long game, right? You want to play, you want to be in it, but we also have to show up strong. And that's what Cedric is talking about with energy. We have to be able to be aware of our energy and know how important that is. So we wanted to thank you so much today for tuning in to Cut the Cord. We really appreciate you. And I know that we've taken almost all of your lunch break, so we're going to jump off now. But our goal is to help you and your team go to a higher level. We want to hear from you. Tell us how we're doing and how we can better serve you and your team. What is your team struggling with? Is it this idea of being authentic, teamwork, collaboration, creativity, communication? We want to know. So send us a message with the subject line Cut the Cord or see our email, and we'd be happy to talk to you about it and to just elevate your team. So, on that note, we will see you all next Wednesday.
Yes, you have a great rest of your day and have a great rest of your week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye bye.